Hello YouTube, I'm doing a review today of my Game Boy Original. The Game Boy Original came out in 1989 in America and Japan. It came out in 1990 for Europe. The Game Boy went on to spawn, or the original Game Boy went on to spawn one of the most successful handheld systems ever. It has been inducted into the several Hall of Fame for several reasons. It was so influential in many categories. Let's take a look here. As you can see, you have a 2-inch, I think that's how big it is, pea soup green tinted screen. Now, the weird thing is Nintendo decided to go with the user-friendly black and white, non-backlight screen, while its competitors had color screens and backlights. Down here, you have your A, your B button. Now here, you have your start, select, and D-pad is up here. Alright, down here you have a headphone jack for stereo sound. Then, over here, you have a contrast button, not button, slider, and AC adapter area. Up here you have the cartridge slot, serial number, if it hasn't worn off already, and battery cover. Now, Nintendo, even though they had that strange little screen that no one thought it could do much, this is the reason why it succeeded. The Game Boy's competitors took 6 AA batteries. 6 AA batteries. That's a lot by today's and the 90s standard. So, Nintendo offered us 4 AA batteries instead of the 6, and giving us much, much more time to play. You could play for like 35 hours off of these guys. Competitors, you were down and out at 6. Here, I'm trying to get this off. Okay, under here is the link cable, which I haven't been able to try and get. I've been trying to get this off, but it won't. Yeah, painful thing to get off. And volume. Alright, let me throw a game in here. We'll throw in Tetris, which was bundled with the original Game Boy way back in '89. Was the system seller. It opened up the Game Boy to many types of people. And for those who want to know, here's the contrast. Buttons, functions, getting brighter, can't see anything. Back, up, darker, gone. Now this didn't matter in darkness, it's not a backlight sort of thing. It just adds so that you could see the thing. And the mono speaker is actually quite, loud. Alright, start. Now, Tetris, you have, no wonder. Alright. Tetris, there you go. You guys can see that. Zoom in a minute. Okay, Tetris. Hugely important to the success of the Game Boy. It was the early Pokemon for the Game Boy. This is what sold the Game Boy before Pokemon rolled along. And it did pretty darn good at that. Alright. If you guys can see this is my first review, so, learning process. Alright. And that's Tetris. So, pretty fun game. Now, like I said, Pokemon was the huge system seller after Tetris. The first games were Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, followed by its sequel, Pokemon Yellow, which we will put into my system right now. There we go, Pikachu. Let me do something fast. Alright. Pretty. So this is what helped drive sorry. English isn't working. As you can see, there's Snorlax, I think. Sorry, my English. The then dying Game Boy in 1998 is suffering a slow and torturous death. But Pokemon helped save the Game Boy. It was the system seller. It was the must-have game. It used the link cable over here to trade with your friends. Hugely important to the success of Pokemon. Alright. Very fun game. It spawned animes and several other games. The most recent, of course, which I have right here, Pokemon Black for the Nintendo DS. We'll get to the DS later on. So yep, this is basically the Game Boy. Very cool system, although it does come with the flaws. I'll list those real quick here. Flaws are, it is kind of bulky, but really the weight comes from right here with the battery pack. Because I've held a Sega Game Gear and I've seen an Atari Lynx, and those guys are huge. They're big. I held the Sega Game Gear when it didn't have any batteries in it, so I really don't know how heavy it would be with batteries, but all I can say is it was pretty darn heavy. Without batteries, it's going to be pretty heavy with batteries. So, I mean, this didn't have a color screen. It was kind of heavy. And the screen was green, which is weird, but the great thing about it is it's a very, very cool system. I mean, it's got a very, very loud speaker right here. Controls work. And it has a wonderful battery life. I mean, 35 hours, if that is true, which I don't know, and I'm probably not going to ever test. Then this battery life owns the DS and the 3DS and about every other handheld in existence. Okay, here's some baseball. This was a launch title alongside with Tetris, Super Mario Land, Alleyway, and Tennis. So if you guys are complaining about 3DS launch, well, then again, they did get a free game, so I guess we should complain some more. We'd get Pilot Wings or something. Or Zelda, we're getting that, I think. Okay, start. Very fun baseball game. Views were not terribly good for it, but hey, it's baseball. If you like baseball, then you should play this game. Okay, when is it going to start? Hitting first. Shoot. I'm going to try. Okay. I'm going to try and multitask here. Ah, come on. Not too good at that. I just got it recently, so it has to cut me some slack. Or you can just go comment and say how great you are at baseball. Pretty fun game. Oh, there we go. Hit it, go, 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 and it's a foul, and it's out. That's baseball. Alright, now let's get down to the review part of this video. So the Game Boy original. Nintendo's first Game Boy. Not Nintendo's first handheld. The first Nintendo handheld was the Game & Watch series, which many of you might not know about that series. Very cool series. I have the Club Nintendo Ball remake, which I'll review one day. Alright, so let's get into the pros. The pros are, well, the games, of course. Tetris, Pokemon, some good games. The speaker is phenomenal. And really, that's about it. The cons are no backlight, no color screen. Oh, and another pro is the battery life, of course. How could I forget that? Alright. Now, who would I recommend this to? I'd recommend this mainly to collectors. If you're like a casual gamer, this isn't really a system. I would recommend the Game Boy Color. Well, thanks YouTube for watching this.